Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Chill Podcast. So, this is the last episode of 2023. I'm going to take a break just to rest my brain, take some time for myself, and enjoy the holiday season. And I wanted to say how grateful I am for the unwavering support from you every week, and also to my dad who listens every week and has supported me since day one. I am grateful to you all. So, thank you. It's been quite a year, and I hope you take a moment during this holiday season to really reflect on how much you've grown as a person and to also think about what you want your next chapter in life to be like. You are never too old, too broke, or too less than to create the life that you really want. So I decided for this episode, I wanted to do a part 2 about female friends because I received a lot of great feedback. Thank you. And a lot of you guys mentioned that having a female friend who is perhaps from another country or perhaps someone who is well traveled is more likely to be a better friend or more approachable because they are more open-minded and more straightforward, which I do agree with because I have made friends before with girls from Sweden and France, and they are very open, friendly, carefree. And I remember this one time when I was in the car with two girls that I recently met, and they were so open about sex and experiences with guys. And I was so taken aback because I was like, a lot of girls aren't that open. And it was such a chilled conversation, like nothing crazy, where it wasn't even weird or anything. Like, it was such a fun girl chat, and I actually appreciated the openness and also them knowing what they wanted in a relationship. And it taught me to be more comfortable with those types of topics. But I guess they were in their early 30s, so it probably comes with age. But I do feel like girls who come from other countries are way more carefree. They also dress really well. They kind of dress according to their own vibe. And it's really refreshing. However, having said that, I feel like it's not a complete statement by saying only foreign girls are more chilled or more easy to be friends with. Because I have had an experience before where at a time in my life, I was sharing a house with someone. And when I see them around now, they kind of look away and like walk right past me while I'm like looking at them. Like, you know, when you're like walking past someone and you try and like grab their attention because you want to say hello, but no, they're just looking the other way. And obviously that's not a great feeling, especially when there wasn't a bad ending to a friendship. So that type of thing is just weird and uncomfortable, but I guess it is what it is. And I feel like it's more common amongst females. So I'm only sharing my own experiences, like full disclosure, because maybe if it is a male and a female friendship, there would be a totally different perspective to that situation. I do, though, have a really great friend who is from Mozambique, and she's honestly such an awesome human. Like, once again, there is no competitiveness. There's no drama. She gives amazing advice. And I feel like she's just emotionally aware enough, which makes her such an amazing person. And I feel like those are great qualities in a friend because it kind of shows you like the type of person that you want to be and the type of friend that you want to be to someone. So I feel like it honestly comes down to the type of person that you are at your core, the values that you have, your own experiences in life, and how you choose to treat others. So I wanted to share an experience that happened recently since it's so relevant to this episode about when I went to this event. It was kind of like a casting and there were so many girls. Like, I was so nervous because I had this mindset where I was like, oh gosh, I am going to have to meet and be around a lot of girls today. I'm so nervous. And I already have this mindset that they were not going to be friendly. It was going to be awkward. They are not going to like me. They're going to think I'm weird. And it's the perception I have because of past experiences, which is not something that you should do when you enter new environments because it doesn't allow you to really embrace the experience. But that is just how I am. I overthink everything, and it's something that I am working on. But what I learned was that I shouldn't put every female into the same box just because of my own experiences. Like, people deserve a chance. And when the casting started, girl after girl started to arrive. Everyone was nice and greeted one another. I try to be open and friendly to everyone and just be super welcoming, because I feel like everyone is experiencing the same types of feelings. Like everyone's nervous, everyone doesn't know what to expect. And certain girls were friendly yet reserved, which is okay. And then I ended up meeting this girl who was so different than me, very warm and chatty, like from the get-go. Whereas when I meet people for the first time, okay, maybe not in like a social event or something like that, but I mean, when you're trying to get to know someone, I feel like I like to listen before opening up, and I kind of like to feel them out first. But she was so like outgoing and so sweet, and we ended up hanging out throughout the whole casting. So that was such a cool person to meet and such a cool experience. So I feel like even though you want to be friends with everyone, not everyone is going to be someone that you vibe with, and that is okay, because there will be someone that comes along who allows you to get out of your comfort zone and who will match your energy, who will kind of vibe off, just being yourself and seeing you for who you are and accepting that. And it can be difficult for females to do that a lot of the time, because there is a subconscious level of competitiveness which stems from a lot of insecurity. I have even had an experience before when I was working one of my very first jobs, and I met this girl. She was much older than me, and then she kind of became like a big sister. So we became really close. And then what happened was, this guy that also worked there, I wasn't interested in him, and obviously he became salty, and he told her things about me. And then she literally stopped talking to me. She ignored me. And eventually I started thinking that in every friendship I have, that that girls are just going to stop liking me, and then the friendship would just be over. And I kind of had to learn over time that it doesn't matter what anyone thinks about you, because if you know who you are and the people who love you know who you are, then that is all that matters. No other opinion matters. So if someone isn't interested in being my friend, well, that's okay. I wouldn't want them as a friend anyways. And luckily in that situation, I was really close to the manager, who was absolutely amazing. Like, I'm so close with her till this day. And she knew who I was. So obviously it took me some time and a lot of lessons in life to understand that if someone doesn't want to be your friend, it's okay. Like, you don't need them. So there was also these two pretty girls at the casting, okay, who you would kind of assume would not be nice people, but I ended up having a conversation with them, and it was an overall great experience. Like, my whole perspective changed, because I thought to myself, this actually isn't that bad, Kelly. Like, everyone is so nice. And moral of the story is that it is important to open yourself up to getting to know other people. They may surprise you. They may be a really nice person, or they may teach you something that you perhaps don't want in a friend. Overall, when you have a fixed mindset about something, anything in life, you aren't allowing yourself to live and experience things. And I made some really great female friends because I was myself. I opened myself up, and the right ones gravitated towards me. The right ones accepted me, and I accepted them back. And the ones who perhaps didn't like me, well, that's life. So I don't know a lot of girls who I can call loyal or genuine friends, but do I have a few? Yes. Is it quality over quantity? Yes. All you can do in a friendship is be the best you can be. So I wanted to share a few things on how I became a better friend to girls. The first thing would be removing the competitive element. So I'm not a very competitive person by nature. I'm determined, I'm driven. I have, the ability to step into my masculine energy when I need to. But at my core, I do have a lot of feminine energy. I'm not that competitive, especially with other people. However, I feel like if being competitive comes from an insecurity, well, how can I make sure that the other person feels like there is no need for it? Firstly, I have worked on my own personal confidence for a very long time. I wear what I want. I like what I like. I don't feel the pressure to conform with what everyone else is doing because it's cool. And I don't engage with people who are competitive with boys or anything else. Like, I feel like it's unnecessary. I don't want to engage in stuff like that. And I would rather build someone up and show them that I am loyal, but I am supportive. And, I need to kind of show my friend that there is no need for competitiveness in the friendship. And I feel like having conversations where you understand each other's insecurities and you don't feed into them, you try and support each other, kind of allows you to form a deeper friendship. I mean, growing up, I've always felt like boys don't like me. They don't want to date me. They always want to date my friends. And maybe it's because they had a better body shape than me or were more feminine than me. Whatever the reason, that definitely didn't make me feel good about myself at all. The only difference, and I have no idea why, maybe it's the people pleaser in me, but I've never acted on that insecurity. I almost just learned to accept that. Like, hey, this is who I am, and maybe one day I'll find someone who loves me and sees me. And because I had a best friend at the time who was super outgoing and beautiful, I almost just kind of shrunk who I was because I didn't want to be judged. I was never someone who sabotaged someone else because of my own insecurity, if you get what I mean. But this isn't what you should do, obviously. Like, don't shrink yourself to make someone else feel better about themselves. What I'm trying to say is that you need to embrace who you are regardless of judgment. And that doesn't mean that you need to sabotage someone else so that you can feel good about yourself. There's a way to still be who you are, but also uplift other people at the same time. The second thing would be taking my insecurities and rerouting my energy to the things that I am good at and what I'm passionate about. For example, the insecurity I had about not being wanted by boys growing up, or not being pretty enough, or not being thin enough, or not being good at certain things that everyone else was good at. I always seem to not be exactly like everyone else. Well, I realized that I don't want attention from any guy who doesn't like me for who I am. I just don't want it. Also, any genuine, meaningful, special relationship needs to come from a place of acceptance. Otherwise, it's not going to be anything of value. And I feel like sometimes girls aren't loyal to each other because you are chasing a guy who sometimes doesn't even deserve your attention. Like, remember, guys, don't chase, attract. And that whole concept gives me such peace of mind. Like, be excited for your friend. And it takes a lot of mindfulness practice to shift your mindset, but it's so worth it. So choose to focus on what you enjoy, what you are good at, and your own strengths, instead of using your energy to fixate on your insecurities. The last thing is that it's loyalty or nothing for me. I'm a loyal person. I know I'm a loyal friend. So if I feel like a friend isn't being loyal to me, then something kind of needs to change. And one of my best friends literally told me the other day, there was an opportunity and she's like, you need to go for this opportunity, Kelly. I believe in you. You have what it takes. You have to get out of your comfort zone. And she was pretty straightforward about it. And that's what a good female friend does. They push you to be your best. They want you to do well. And as we get older, it's hard to constantly hang out with girlfriends all the time. Well, in my experience, it is. I do see a lot of other girls are able to hang out all the time and do things, and that's so cool. But I have friends who are in relationships, have things to do in their time, have like work, and they're tired and they're exhausted and they just want to spend time alone. I totally get it because I'm exactly the same. Sometimes when people invite me to do things, or I even want to make plans with someone, the next day I'm like, I'm so tired. I have so many things to do and I kind of just need to chill. And you end up not seeing your friends sometimes, and you kind of just understand, and they understand. And that's just how it goes. And I feel like there needs to be a level of understanding and respect. I feel like overall, in general, just working on your own independence is so important, because then you won't feel offended if your friend doesn't invite you to something. You won't feel protective if your friends make other friends. You won't get upset if your friend doesn't message you every day, because you have a level of personal confidence, but also independence. that you are your own person. Your friends are their own people, and it's just important to be kind to each other and respectful and understanding, and to also make sure that you surround yourself with the right people. And if you feel like you are in a situation where you have friends or a friend who perhaps isn't a good friend, well, then just move forward. There doesn't need to be drama or bad vibes attached to it. Simply let it go and just be grateful for the experience, because all experiences teach us something valuable for next time. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I have enjoyed hanging out with you this year. It's been so much fun. It's been therapeutic. And I hope I added some value into your life, because you've definitely added value into mine. And I wish you all a beautiful Christmas and a happy new year. And I'll be back on the 3rd of January every Wednesday. So yeah, that's it. I love you and ciao.